There are beings who walk the earth as mortals, yet carry the fire of gods. And then, there are those who are more than gods, forces of judgment, born from realms darker than death itself. Superman is the man of steel, a child of Krypton, blessed by the yellow sun, stronger than armies, faster than light, a symbol of hope, carrying the weight of worlds on his shoulders. But hope has a shadow, and in the darkest corners of existence, there rises another legend, the Ghost Rider. Not a hero, not a villain, but the spirit of vengeance. A fiery demon bound to mortal souls, cursed to punish the guilty with a torment beyond imagination. Their paths rarely cross. One defends the universe through compassion and strength. The other delivers punishment through fire and damnation. But what if fate brings them face to face? Picture it. The night is silent. The rider's flames scorch the ground. Chains rattle. The burning skull turns toward the Kryptonian. Superman, calm yet cautious, lowers from the skies. Two forces stare at one another, each representing something absolute. Superman speaks first. He always does. Who are you? Why are you burning this city? And Ghost Rider answers not with words, but with the crackle of hellfire. Because the rider does not explain. The rider judges. Now here lies the paradox. Superman has fought gods, monsters, demons, and machines. He has battled beings like Darkseid and Doomsday. But Ghost Rider is different. He is not powered by strength alone. He is powered by vengeance, drawn from a higher order, something even Krypton could not prepare for. The rider lashes his chain, burning with hellfire. Superman intercepts, faster than sight, gripping the chain in his hand. But the fire does not go out. It licks at his skin. It is not natural flame. It is fire that burns the soul, not the body. For the first time in years, Superman feels something beyond the physical. He narrows his eyes, his heat vision flaring. The rider does not flinch, because there is a weapon more dangerous than chains. More dangerous than fire. The Penance stare. Superman doesn't know it yet. But this battle is not about fists. It is not about strength. It is about judgment. The Penance stare forces its victim to relive every sin, every failure, every ounce of guilt they have ever carried. And here, the question burns brighter than any flame. What would happen if the Penance stare fell upon Superman, the man who carries the guilt of Krypton's extinction, the guilt of every life he could not save, the guilt of being a god who cannot save all? The man of steel may be invulnerable in body, but is his soul ready to face the wrath of vengeance? Stay with me, because in the next chapter, the trial begins. The Penance stare will fall, and we will see if even Superman's spirit can survive eternal fire. The fire grows brighter. The chain tightens. But Superman does not falter. He stands tall, his cape whispering in the inferno. And then the moment arrives. The Ghost Rider lifts his skull. Two black sockets ignite with blinding flame. The Penance stare awakens. It is not heat. It is not light. It is pure judgment. Superman locks eyes with the rider. And in that instant, his world collapses. He does not see the city. He does not feel the ground beneath his boots. He falls into the abyss of his own mind. And there, memories tear him apart. He sees Krypton exploding, his parents vanishing into fire. The cries of a doomed world echo forever. Jor-El's voice, Lara's touch, all lost in the void. And the guilt whispers, you survived. They didn't. He sees Jonathan Kent's death. The man who raised him, lying helpless, while Superman could do nothing. A tornado took him, and Clark Kent obeyed, hiding instead of saving. The guilt claws, you had the power. Why didn't you use it? He sees every battle he's ever fought. Metropolis in ruins. Civilians buried beneath stone. Each time, even in victory, there were those he could not save. And the guilt screams. For everyone you saved, 1,000 slipped through your fingers. The Penance stare digs deeper. It shows him his enemies, broken under his fists. Doomsday, Zod, countless others. The guilt cuts. Did you kill because you had no choice or because you could? Even his friends appear. Lois Lane's tears when he leaves her behind. Batman's suspicion, whispering that Superman could turn tyrant. The fear that one day he will. Superman's knees weaken. The weight of the cosmos presses on him. Because unlike most men, his guilt is not small. It is vast. He carries not just the lives of one world, but the burden of two, Krypton and Earth. And yet, the rider waits. The fire burns. But this is not the end. Because the penance stare is not absolute. It feeds on guilt, yes, but it also reveals something else. The soul's truth. And Superman's truth is unlike any other. Yes, he carries guilt. Yes, he has failed. But his failures are born from love, from compassion, from an endless drive to protect, not to destroy. He does not take pleasure in pain. He does not kill for vengeance. Every act of violence was a last resort. Every battle a desperate attempt to save what he could. And in that truth, something extraordinary happens. The rider's fire flickers. The penance stare pushes harder, but it cannot break him. Because Superman does not deny his guilt. He accepts it. He lives with it. He turns it into strength. The penance stare was built to crush murderers, tyrants, killers who revel in cruelty. But Superman is none of those. He is a man cursed with compassion so great it hurts him more than anyone else. The rider sees this. The flames reflect not a sinner's soul, but a warrior's burden. And for the first time, the spirit of vengeance hesitates. Because how do you punish a man whose only crime is that he cannot save everyone? The fire fades. Superman exhales, shaking, sweat on his brow. The chains loosen. But the battle is not over. Because if the penance stare cannot break him, the rider still has Hellfire. And Hellfire does not ask questions. It burns. The clash is not finished. The firestorm is coming. And in the final part we will answer the last question, not if Superman can survive judgment, but if even he can endure hell itself. The chains fall silent. The penance stare fades, its judgment unfinished. Superman breathes heavily, his chest rising and falling. He has faced something no Kryptonian science, no earthly magic ever prepared him for. And he survived. But the Ghost Rider is not finished. If judgment cannot break the Man of Steel, then fire will. The skull tilts back. Hell itself roars through the rider's mouth. A torrent of hellfire erupts, hotter than suns, older than creation. Superman braces. Heat vision meets hellfire. Red light against infernal flame. For a heartbeat, the sky burns brighter than day. The ground melts. The air splits. And still they push. But there is a difference. Superman's fire is born of stars. The rider's fire is born of damnation. It burns not only flesh, but essence. Even Superman feels it. His cells scream. His soul trembles. For a moment, the man of tomorrow feels as though he is not indestructible. As though every ounce of hope inside him could be set ablaze. Yet, within the fire, something happens. Superman does not falter. He does not retreat. He steps forward. Through the storm, through the agony, through the flames of hell itself, he moves. Because Superman's power is not just muscle. It is not just sunlight. It is will. It is heart. It is the unshakable belief that no darkness, no curse, no damnation will ever stop him from protecting the innocent. And as he steps closer, the rider sees it. The skull reflects the image of a man who refuses to fall. A man who has carried worlds and still carries more. A man who can be burned, broken, judged, but never corrupted. The hellfire weakens. Not because Superman overpowers it, but because it cannot claim him. For hellfire consumes guilt and sin. But what happens when it touches a soul made of selflessness, sacrifice, and love? It does not destroy. It recoils. The rider's flames sputter. Superman grips the chain once more, pulling the spirit of vengeance close. Not in anger, not in violence, but with a voice steady and unyielding, he speaks. I am not your enemy. carry my sins. But I will never stop fighting for what is right. And in that moment the writer pauses. Because the spirit of vengeance is not free will. It is a curse, yes, but it is also justice. It knows truth when it sees it. And the truth of Superman is undeniable. So the fire dims. The chains fall slack. The writer's skull lowers. For the first time, judgment finds no victim. Only a survivor. Only a man too pure for damnation. The battle ends, not in destruction, but in recognition. Superman has faced gods, monsters, and demons. But today he faced his own soul and walked away unbroken. So, can Superman survive Ghost Rider's penance stare? The answer is yes. Not because he is invulnerable. Not because he is flawless. But because he accepts his flaws. He turns guilt into hope, pain into strength, and judgment into redemption. That is why the Man of Steel endures. That is why legends never burn. If you want more battles like this, where gods, heroes, and monsters collide, make sure to subscribe, because next time we'll ask an even darker question. Can Batman survive the penance stare?